عليكم ورحمة الله. شو أخباركم يا شباب؟ إن شاء الله تكونوا بألف خير. طبعا نحن عم نحاول نغير مقدمة التراديشنال تبع كل اليوتيوبرية، بس لهلا ما طلعت لنا ولا وحدة براسنا. لعبة اليوم هي ستانلي، كلنا بنعرف لعبة ستانلي، أنا شايفها على اليوتيوب بس أنا ماني لعبها شخصيا، فمنزلين منها نسخة الديلوكس، راح نجربها مع بعض. لا تنساني بدعمك بلايك بالسب. ليتس جو. بسم الله.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
هي شايفها.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk.
كل حياتنا هيك أساساً نحن.
To push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in. They had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley was happy. شغلته إنه يكبس زرار وعم بيقول له شو الزر اللي كبسوه.
Something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
لأول مرة ستانلي بيترك الأوفيس تبعه، بيترك تكبيس الزرار، بيترك وظيفته لأنه ما عاد إجا ولا أوردر. بسم الله توكلنا على الله. طبعا ما فينا نحركش شيء. بس صوت تكبيس كيبورد. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Meeting room.
أولا؟ لا. meeting room. ستانلي اللي هو أنا. meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
لا بدي فوت على الرايت يلا.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
بالضبط.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
لا أنا بس نكاية تنفيذ.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Okay,
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her? Mean her?
This is it, Stanley.
Madame?
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Mean her?
She's been waiting.
Mean her?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her.
Mean her?
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
طب أنا ما بدي pick up the phone. فيني أطلع؟ أنا بجاه بالي إني أعمل لك نكاية. والله ترى ظريفة.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
هذا محتوى جديد باللعبة.
Right. Okay, there we go. All right, now I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
What's going on?
Gotcha.
تعال اطلع لي
come
باربي
on.
هلا.
Did you actually think you had a loving wife who want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going
يطلع
on.
لي الشعر، بده يطلع لي الشعر والشغلات الحلوة وهر وما هر يقرب بيت على المدير.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
هيك حامل كيبورد. جود مورنينج امبلوي 4 بريس او.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow.
Uh-huh.
He has a job that demands nothing of him.
Okay.
Every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
ما بدي اكبس يعني فوق ما عم بيزلني وخليني اكبس ارقام، عم بيحكي علي قدام العالم مالي اكبس. ها وهي حرف الاتش انتر سبيس. ما بدي اضربه. شكله ما في خيار ثاني الا اكبس دي.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen
يا
to
ترى شو كان صار لو انا رحت وسمعت كلامه من الاول؟ نعم بدي نام.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself.
Okay.
But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. خلاص راح اروح معهم. لا كايف هيك.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Damn. Please press B to question nothing. To question nothing? Okay.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What happened? Computer. I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh my god على النهاية التافهة. يعني
All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
يعني
Stanley
متت
decided to go
غصبا
to the
عني
meeting
قتلني.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
طب خلينا نروح هالمرة نسمع كلامه من الأول. ما نروح ياخذنا كل هاللعب. روح
When
اليسار.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
اوكي. هاي الميتنج روم ها؟
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
اوكي. روح عند المدير.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
اوكي. ماي بوس اوفيس. اوه دايم يا البوس الخواجة. نحن الحيطان تبعنا مثل حضانة.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. انا ما شايف شيء. شوف يوم في شيء اصلا صار. برو. انا كبست لفوق بس ما كبست لتحت. شو هذا؟ الغش. لا تقول لي متت هلا انا. بده يعدني من فوق. ما عملت شيء غلط يا اخي.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
ما أنا ماني عارفان شو اللي صاير. أنا زلمة تقول لي من البيت للشغل من الشغل للبيت. يا لعنة الله عليكم.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
والله ما اروح من على السكيب واخلص ولا خلص بما انه هذيك المرة رحت. والله ما بعرف يا شباب. اروح خلص يلا كنترول مايند كنترول فاسيلتي يلا. شافوني. مايند كنترول فاسيلتي يلا. ايش في؟ نكبس؟
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Yes.
Did he have the strength to find out?
I have the strength. اللي شو اللي مخبيينه عني ولاد الحرام الغدارين.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Fired.
Their true nature revealed.
Oh
Each
my
bore
God.
the number of an employee in the building.
Oh my God.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Yeah,
and Stanley, one of
well.
them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
اوكي يا محمد انا عيوني زاغوا. ستانلي كيف فيني احررهم؟ شو هاي؟ اوكي شكله بدي اكبسها هوا. غصبا عني
This
بدي.
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe.
عن
It couldn't be
جد.
true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Yeah.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
ايش في مدير؟ يا خلاص نحررهم كلهم.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept
I
it.
couldn't accept
his
it.
own life in someone else's control?
No.
Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't
was even
Was it even
possible.
possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh my god.
Here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content.
Offline.
Walking,
My
eating,
God.
working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
عن جد.
For he would
إنه أنا هيك حياتي
dismantle the
بالحقيقة يعني
controls
بصراحة.
once and for all.
كله اوفلاين. طيب ماشي انا ما راح. جاب لي حوس بصراحة بين الكتب بين الديسكات. محمد على الظلام. مايند كنترول ايديال اويتنج انبوت. ناطر انه انا اوكي انا شغل دقيقة. انا شغل السيستم ولا طفيه؟ طبعا بدي طفيه. ليش لحتى شغله؟ ما انا بدي اخرج منه. والله دايم بس انا اوف اصوات اشك عليه. ما بدي هذا السيستم يسيطر على حدا.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
ايه
Was it over?
ما بعرف. Was it over?
Yes.
He
He
had.
had won. He had defeated the machine.
Okay.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
عن جد وينهم؟
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
يعني
For it was
نص
not
نص صراحة.
knowledge or even power that he had been seeking,
نص نص
but
يعني.
happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do,
or how to feel. ما
whatever
boy.
life he lives, it will be his.
His.
And that was all he needed to know.
يعني بصراحة أنا
It
هيك
was
بدنا.
perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
يا
Stanley stepped through the open door.
عم بستنى بس توصل الأرض لعندي.
Stanley felt the
الله.
cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling
الله
of
على الهوايات.
liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
نعم.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And
الله
Stanley
was
happy.
happy. اللي بيطلع منام؟ طلع مكبس. غالبا هيك يطلع. لا. achieve unlocked get first attention. شكلها خلصت. بس أنا كان نفسي أعرف لو رحت على السكيب شو بيصير. ها؟ ولا شو صار هلا؟ خلص نحن أخذنا هي أول نهاية. شو رأيكم؟ على السريع من دون ما حدا يحس.
All of his co-workers were gone.
تمام؟
What could it mean?
بس خلينا نشوف
Stanley
النهايات.
decided to
النهاية
go to the
هديك.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
خلينا نشوف نهاية السكيب شو ممكن تكون بقلبها. معلش. على
When
اليسار.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
اوكي. هتلاقي كلياتهم نعرفه. اوكي
Yet
اوكي.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
ما بتذكر شو
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing
والله
through
تذكرته.
paper. Stanley
والله
was in such a
تذكرتي.
rush to get through the story as quickly as possible.
Yes.
He didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
هاي شغلة جديدة. أنا بس كان.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened
Okay.
passageway.
تمام. أنا اللي بدي أعرفه بس إنه إذا أنا رحت إن الاسكيب شو بيصير. ها؟ كذا. نزل فيني لتحت ما طلع لفوق. تمام. ما بيأثر. فيني أرفس كمان. هون.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
احنا هنعمل وحده هيك على السريع على اليسار على الخفيف ونشوف شو الله بيخلي
Although
معنا.
this passageway had the word escape written on it,
Yes.
the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
بالله؟ violent death. يعني
The
موت
door
شنيع.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on
اي والله
track.
مضبوط. بالعاده بيسكروا الابواب اللي وراي وقت اعمل شيء.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward
Yes.
and willingly confront his death.
death. موافق بس بدي اعرف. والله يمكن كذاب ترى. I'm dead يعني. فعليا I'm dead. لا والله. I'm not dead. عفو الله. اوكي.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Violent
Stanley
ابن
can't
كلب.
see the bigger picture. He
هتفعوس.
doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell,
حياك
Stanley.
الله يا الفعس. جي جي يا شباب. جي جي ها. I'm dead ولا شو؟ I'm dead.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
خلاص أنا مت. what Stanley the Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
أنا بصراحة
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
دايوم يا القشعريرة والكلام المحفوف بالمخاطر. يعني قصدي بالحكمة. ده two doors. The set of the two open doors was very first concert piece of the Stanley Brothers design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged exceptional. The condition of this room pose. والله نايس. هي مرجونا الكونستراكشن تبع اللعبة. يعني انا غالبا راح ارجع على شو؟ اخ استنى. غالبا راح ارجع على بداية اللعبة بس دايم ترى هذا معرض اللعبة اسمه Warzone. والله في شغلات جديد شكل شو ها؟ دين ترى هي المحتوى الجديد للعبة. هلا كله ما بعرفه. I'm Stanley. Are you paying on me? شلون is paying on me? Subject the question true about the innocent position of my soul. How? I don't know bro. The office. فيني اخذ شغلات souvenirs؟ اغرب كأنه في تفجير لانه والله ضعت ترى انا ضعت الاسانسير.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another.
مين؟
How they
أنا
both wish to
والمعلق.
be free.
بدكم شيء يا شباب ان شاء الله يكون عجبكم الفيديو. جربنا كل الخيارات وانبسطنا مع ستانلي. اذا في اي شيء محتوى جديد باللعبة انا اكيد راح ارجع لكم. See you in the next video.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
لا اساسا انهي الفيديو.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. Listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
كيف؟ how?
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose.
Yeah, I got no mercy for the weak. I kill them all. It's R.I.P.
Don't let
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost.